Marajan Adlaw Surigaonans, I'm your radio personality and welcome to today's news program at 21 FM. In today's segment, we'll be discussing the topic of inflation in the Philippines, specifically in Surigao City. I'm Fahad Faki and I'm with the radio station team.
I'm Bryce Altrecha.
And John Riggs Abelio at your service. In today's news, we will be talking about the ongoing issues that Filipinos encounter in their daily lives. We will delve into topics such as inflation, poverty, and sexual abuse. Now sit back and tune in to one of the most credible and reliable news.
Only here on 21 FM.
Before we start, let's define what inflation is. Inflation refers to the general increase in prices of goods and services in an economy over time. It can be caused by several factors such as increased demand, reduced supply, higher production costs, and more. Inflation can affect everyone from business owners to consumers as the price of goods and services increase and the purchasing power of money decreases. According to recent reports, inflation has increased to its highest level in years, making it difficult for Filipinos to make ends meet. The rising cost of basic commodities such as food, medicine, and fuel has caused significant economic challenges for many families.
In the Philippines, inflation has been a persistent problem in recent years. According to recent reports, the country's inflation rate has reached a staggering 8% in the first quarter of 2023, which is higher than the government's target range of 2 to 4. It means that the prices of goods and services have continued to rise, and people's incomes may not be enough to cover their basic needs.
To understand the impact of inflation on basic commodities, the survey team went to the local supermarket in Surigao City and checked the prices of essential items like vegetables, fish, fruits, rice, and canned goods. Herein on the line is the survey team leader, Justler James Acelo.
Maradaw na adlaw Surigaonons. Here I am with my team at the local supermarket here in Surigao City to have a survey to some locals and ask them about their experiences with overpriced products. Our goal is to get about 10 people to participate in our survey and hopefully get some opinions and review about the current issue.
Based on our survey, we can conclude that the people in Surigao City are feeling the impact of inflation. The prices of basic commodities have increased and it has affected their budget and daily lives. It's a challenging situation that needs attention and solution to help alleviate the burden on the people.
To help us understand inflation, we will provide tips and recommendations on how to fight it.
First, consider looking for alternative sources of goods and services. This could mean buying locally produced products or shopping around for deals and discounts. By doing so, you can help keep prices low and reduce the impact of inflation on your budget. Am I right, Sir Gupit?
Absolutely. Another tip is to save money whenever possible. This means cutting back on unnecessary expenses and putting money away for a rainy day. By building up your savings, you can better weather the storm of inflation and avoid being caught off guard by sudden price increases.
Also, one of the most important things is to be mindful of our spending habits. We need to prioritize our spending and focus on our basic needs such as food, housing, and transportation.
That's a good point. Finally, be proactive in managing your debt. High levels of debt can make it harder to manage the impact of inflation. So make sure to pay off your debts as soon as possible. This will only not help you save money on interest charges, but will also reduce your overall financial burden.
Thank you, Sir Gupit, for joining me to give insights and recommendations to the listeners on how we can fight inflation in the Philippines, specifically in Surigao City. We hope that our survey and discussion have shed light on the impact of inflation on the people and encourage everyone to be vigilant with their spending and seek ways to save money. We would also like to thank all the participants in our survey and our broadcast team for making this segment possible. Stay tuned for more news and updates after a short advertisement and requested songs only here on 21 FM.
Santon Plus Herbal Capsule. Ang mga bukol-bukol, sarang tunawon, siska tumor, Santon Herbal Capsule. Garantisado, Santon Herbal Capsule. Alikbayan ninyo, Santon Herbal Capsule. Aprobado sa scientifico, ina-endorso sa mga eksperto. Santon Herbal Capsule, ang kapsula na epektibo.
Welcome back, Surrigaonons. The wait is over because right now we'll be heading on our next radio news. But before that, I'm Justler James Acello.
I'm Kayla Shannon Kabig.
Ariela Nazarcon, and you're tuning in only here on 21 FM.
And right now, for our next news, we will now talk about a pressing issue that needs attention in the Philippines, especially in Surigao City: poverty.
Poverty is a persistent problem in the Philippines, affecting millions of people across the country. It is a complex issue that is caused by various factors, including limited access to education, healthcare, and job opportunities.
Surigao City is one of the areas in the Philippines that experiences high poverty rates. Despite being rich in natural resources and potential for tourism, many of its residents still struggle to make ends meet.
According to recent reports, around 13.2% of the Filipino population live below the poverty line in 2023. This means that millions of Filipinos are struggling to make ends meet, unable to provide for themselves and their families.
Poverty affects not only the financial well-being of individuals and families, but also their physical and mental health. It can lead to malnutrition, illness, and even premature death. Children who grow up in poverty are more likely to suffer from stunted growth, developmental delays, and lack of access to education.
As responsible citizens, we must do our part in addressing poverty in Surigao City and the rest of the country. We can start by supporting local businesses, especially those that provide job opportunities for the community.
We can also donate to charitable organizations that provide basic necessities such as food, shelter, and healthcare to those in need. By volunteering our time and skills, we can make a difference in the lives of those who are affected by poverty.
For donations and volunteering in programs, you can reach out to the Department of Social Welfare and Development by being a part of their social welfare programs here in the Philippines.
Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino Program, Kalahi CIDSS, Listahanan, Sustainable Livelihood Program, Supplementary Feed Program, Social Pension Program, Home for Girls, Regional Center for Women, Regional Rehabilitation Center for Youth, and Unconditional Cash Transfer.
We can also advocate for policies that address the root causes of poverty, such as improving access to education, healthcare, and job opportunities. By working together, we can make a difference in lives of those who are affected by poverty.
Let us continue to raise awareness about this issue and do our part in helping those who are struggling. Remember, no matter how small our actions may seem, they can have a significant impact on someone's life.
Lastly, we would like to thank our listeners for tuning in and joining us in our efforts to raise awareness about important issues in our society. Stay tuned for more news and updates after a short advertisement and requested songs only here on 21 FM.
Kinsa na? Kinsa na ba?
Asa yung mama?
Wala ko kabalukol.
Kabalo ko ba ka na utang yung mama sa ako?
Uya kol. Uguya sa diri. Ako pili na kamuawa. Buhay ko. Buhay ko ba?
Pwede na ako pang bayad para sa mga utang sa iyong mama sa ako.
Tabang! Tabangin ko ninyo!
Pananaw ni mo na yung mga bati sa imo. Ayaw pagsaba. Dali ra di.
Hello, police!
Hello? Rizal Police Station.
May gilugos diri. Ako, amiga. Pero way ako kaila kung kinsin ng lugos. Paligo sa inyo pagdali mo.
Unsa man yung address?
Barangay Sampaloc, Purok 1, Quezon Street po. Palihog pagdali mo.
Sige, panaha na mi dira.
Daghang salamat mga kapulisan. Ug inyo kong giluwas.
Why problema? Ug paniguraduhon namo nga wala nay makabuhat og ging-ani sa imo utro.
Welcome back, Suriganons. Before we proceed with our last news program today, we want to take a moment to thank our listeners for tuning in and supporting us. We couldn't do without your continued support, and we are grateful for the opportunity to bring you the latest news and information from the Philippines and beyond.
Today, we'll be talking about sexual abuse, especially in Surigao City. And we have some updates to share with you. But before we jump in, I'm Trisha Moral.
I'm Ivan Brian Padana.
I'm Andrea Luis Navarro.
Cedric Beberino, and you're tuning in
Only here on 21 FM.
Now that we're back, let's talk about a recent development in our country's laws regarding sexual abuse. Sexual abuse is a form of violence that affects individuals of all ages, genders, and backgrounds. It can take many forms such as harassment, assault, rape, and exploitation. Unfortunately, it is a widespread problem in the Philippines, and Surigao City is not exempted.
It is alarming to know that a large percentage of sexual abuse victims are children. Many of these cases go unreported due to fear, shame, or lack of awareness. As a result, perpetrators often get away with their crimes and continue to victimize others. President Duterte has signed into a law a measure raising the age of sexual consent from 12 to 16 years old. Lawmakers have emphasized that this move is necessary to protect children from the sexual exploitation and abuse. This new law means that any sexual intercourse with a minor below 16 years old will be considered as rape, even if the minor agreed to engage in a sexual act.
This is a positive development in the fight against sexual abuse. It is a clear message that our government is taking these issues seriously and is committed to protecting our children from harm.
However, despite these laws, sexual abuse is still prevalent in our community. Just recently, the Surigao City Police Station, together with the Provincial Highway Patrol Team and PNP Maritime, arrested 3 waiters for raping an 18-years-old female victim. The joint operation led to the capture of Freemark Dagsa Plaza, John Florence Colangan Bubasan, and Joey Balan Arlalejo, all residents of Purok 8 Pier, Bilang-Bilang, Barangay Tap, Surigao City.
Under the warrant of arrest, charged for rape or violation of the Revised Penal Code Article 266A, Surigao City Police arrested the suspects in the residence under criminal case number 16068 issued by Regional Trial Court, Branch 29, Surigao City, with no bail recommended for their liberty. Reports say that on the evening of December 26, 2021, in Narciso Pier, Barangay Top, Surigao City, the 5 suspects, 2 of whom are still at large under the influence of intoxicating liquor, conspiring, took turns raping the 18-years-old victim and taking advantage while intoxicated.
It is important to remember that sexual abuse is a serious crime that can cause long-term psychological and emotional damage to its victims. As a community, we must remain vigilant and take a stand against such heinous acts. If you or someone you know is a victim of sexual abuse, please do not hesitate to seek help and report it to the authorities.
It's important to stay informed about the laws and efforts to address sexual abuse. But as individuals, we also need to be proactive in protecting ourselves and our loved ones. So, what can we do to prevent sexual abuse from happening?
Well, first and foremost, we need to educate ourselves and our children about what sexual abuse is and what to do if it happens. Parents should teach their children about personal boundaries and the importance of saying no if someone makes them feel uncomfortable. We should also teach our children that it's okay to speak up and seek help if they experience any form of abuse.
That's right. Education is key. And let's also be mindful of your social media presence and avoid sharing personal information with strangers or people you don't know well.
And that's all for our segment on sexual abuse in the Philippines, especially in Surigao City. Remember to stay informed, stay safe, and speak up if you or someone you know is experiencing any form of abuse.
Thank you for tuning in to our broadcast today. We hope that the information we shared shed some light on the issues that we face in the Philippines. We would like to express our gratitude to all our listeners for your continued support. We would also like to thank our hardworking staff who made this broadcast possible.
Join us again next time as we bring you more updates and insights on our latest issues in our country. Stay tuned for more news and updates in our next program, only here on 21 FM.